Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we're going to draw a Sumo Samurai with a pencil and simple watercolors. All you need is a cup of water. Start out by drawing an egg-sized shape for the head, then the shoulders, the torso, the waist, the legs, and the feet. This will be our blocking. We'll also do the arms. Keep the arms at even shapes and lengths, and have it in any pose you want. For this one, I'll be having one across the chest and one holding katana. For the katana, it is curved. Back on the head, we'll draw a line for symmetry and then also an eye line. We'll place the ears with the eye line, make a widow's peak, some sideburns, and attach those. For the hairstyle, I'm going to be doing a top knot. We'll make a very fat chin and place little beady eyes for now, giving it shape to an oval or an almond shape. We're going to give a furrow in his brow and some pretty blocky eyebrows. The bridge of his nose and the end of it, and I'll be making him with a frown. When drawing the body, try to imagine meat around the bones. We're making him very pillowy. Go for the torso first, and make this as large as you want. Have a divot in his chest. Go back to the arms since they'll be overlapping the torso. And for the hands, I decided to keep a very easy way of doing it. You can be as challenging as you want with it and make each individual finger. And then I'm just erasing where I don't want my lines. Remember that when you're doing this, try to keep your lines as light as possible. I'm drawing darker here for you guys to see. Now I'm going for the katana. I'm going to draw the pommel and the handle. And my katana will be sheathed, so I don't need to make a point on it. For his loincloth, I'm going to do a traditional piece that hangs low. And then I'm going to put a sumo belt on him, which is basically a large white rope. By this time, my blocking is off, so I'm moving it down just a bit. This way, his legs and his torso match in size. Again, I'm keeping with the pillowy shape, making the kneecap to mark where the muscle meets, and keeping a simple foot. Again, you can go as detailed as you want if you want to make every individual toe. I'm making details in the loincloth, which are just simple stripes. When we begin painting, you can see that I'm mixing colors into the lid of the palette. Feel free to use any colors that you want. When you begin painting, try to drag the paint inward towards the rest of the drawing. Avoid areas that you're not using a current color. As you can see, I'm avoiding the white of the eyes and the eyebrows. Try not to use so much paint in the very beginning, as we'll go back and we'll add details. Once paint dries and you overlap it, it will become a darker color. Whenever you're painting, go ahead and make sure that all of your blocking is erased. Here you can see that I definitely forgot to erase it, and it's hard to erase. If you have too much paint in an area, you can always use your finger or a dry cloth to remove it easily. Feel free to wait until your painting's drying before you go on to the next part. It'll make sure that colors won't mix. I'm using a blue royal color for the loincloth and making sure to stay outside of the white rope that I want. Now I'm going back to the skin now that my first layer of paint is dry. I'm grabbing the same color, but I'm using a thicker paint, and it's making the shadows on him. Think of where the light is hitting your figure. Here, it's kind of coming from up above. He does have a lot of rolls on him, so I want to define that with my shadows. This is going to give a lot of definition to your character. I'm even using a little bit on the face, especially in the furrow and underneath the eyebrows. I'm painting the pommel yellow and making my katana just green. Again, I use two paint and I'm using my finger to remove some of that excess paint before it spills over onto the skin. Feel free to wait until the rest of the painting is dry before you continue. Now I'm going to go back to the hairline and definitely give him that deep dark black that traditional Japanese sumo samurai have. I use the same on his eyebrows as well. Now I'll make some shadow underneath the rope belt. And also a little bit more, as we do have a handed katana there. And just a little bit on top. As you continue, try to get a little bit darker to where you're comfortable with your painting. You'll be wanting to use finer lines the darker you go. For the rope belt, I do want it to remain white. However, I do need that shadow, So I'm going to very slowly begin to add more color to show the definition of the lower part of the rope belt. And between each tie as well, there is just a little bit of shadow as well. Go back through your painting and just try to get any little space that you can think of. Add your details now. When you're done, a regular ballpoint pen will work, and go ahead and trace the outline. And voila, you're done. Feel free to try and create your own character. We'd love to see what kind of Sumo Samurai you can make over at Liberty. We hope you had fun. Have a lovely evening. Oh, and also don't forget to sign your piece. Have a wonderful day.